Okay guys, this is the final video. This one is basically the rest of the face. So it's my foundation, my cream contour, powder contour, bronzer, blush, and highlight. So if you want to see how I got this complexion, please keep watching. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go with our actual foundation. So I'm going to put a little bit more of the primer that I had, just a little bit. I already went on my face, but I didn't put any on my forehead, so I'm going to do it right on the top because I did put a little concealer already right there. So just go on the top right there, just so it has something for my foundation to stick to. And then again, we are using the All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. And I'm going to go back with my brush, and I have it on my tray. I'm just dipping into that, and I'll go ahead and start pressing it onto my face. Now obviously I'm not going to go up as high as it because I already have concealer there, so I'm not going to, waste as much concealer as I already used. So I'm just, normally I would kind of go all over my nose and everything, but I don't have to do my nose since I already did that. Now I'm just kind of going down, and we'll get the side of your ears. If you wear your hair up, go all over your ears, but I pretty much just go right on this part of my ears. My ears for some reason are very pink. My face is very yellow. Go down onto your neck a little bit as well. Just guarantees you have the nice no demarcation lines. And then I'm going to go onto my forehead. So I'm going to take my sponge and just kind of pat around all that now. I swear I don't know what I did without these. I'm not necessarily saying this is the Morphe one, but I have the Real Techniques one here. I have a little beauty blender here. So these just like melt the makeup into your face. So I just love them, and I just don't know how I ever did my makeup without them before. Notice I didn't have to go all the way down and touch my brows because remember we had concealer right there. So I literally just went to where that concealer was. And having the concealer there kind of highlighted that area as well. Okay, so I'm just kind of going all over. And then as you saw before I put my foundation on, I have a lot of discoloration on my cheek area. So that's where I'm just going to go with one more little layer right on the cheeks. Right where I just have all those little dark spots. And that would be all. And now at this point is when I'd actually go in with my concealer and underneath my eyes. So because I already had concealer, I'm not going to do too much. So I'm just going to go really quickly with just a little bit more concealer. Only because I kind of took a little bit of away with my foundation. So just do one little dot here, just a little teeny bit, and just 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of want to bring back the highlight basically. So let's just touch that up a little bit. And I do like to, like I said, I like to bring the concealer up onto the side of the nose because it helps with the contouring part of it. So I do that all the time. Okay, up it out again. I'm gonna go with my little my little damp cotton round here that had my toner on it, and I just like to get rid of that foundation off my lips. I hate that look. It's all like white. So I'm just kind of taking that away. So there you go. The next thing I do is, if you are gonna just do a powder contour, then you do your powders now. I'm going to do a cream contour just because we are doing this whole foundation contour routine. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my contour stick, and I'm going to use Mocha from Fenty Beauty, which I've definitely used before. So I'm going to take the stick, and you can either like put it on your hand and pick it up, or you can just go directly from the tube and kind of contour your face out. So I'm just putting these little, like I said, I'm trying to get higher cheekbones, so I'm going underneath my cheekbone, going on the top of my forehead, and then I have a long chin right here, so I try to just like shorten it a little bit right there. And then I do take my little contour brush. It has like a little smaller side on here and a fluffier side on here. I'm gonna pick up some of that color and go right down my nose, right on the sides of my nose. Just kind of give a little bit of definition right there. Okay, now this is where people's nose contour can be different. I like my nose to look like I have a little ball at the end. So I like to do the little tip like this and then kind of shorten it right here. And it makes the little tip of the nose look a little bit more defined, which makes it look like a little ball on the end of your nose. So that's what I do for my nose. Some people don't skip that little step right there, but I like that. Okay, so we'll start blending it out. I'm gonna take the other side and just kind of soften that. And I'm doing it really light, like I'm not taking away what I just did, I'm just buffing it in. And then really lightly here. And then I'm gonna take my MAC, this is the 130, MAC 130. And I'm going to just buff in my contour here. Go around the face. And again, do light pressure. You don't want to take away and you don't want to disturb the makeup underneath. So do it really lightly. Just creating definition of the face. It's making me look like my cheekbones are a little higher, which is what I need. And then I'm just gonna kind of bring what's left underneath my jawline, just to kind of give a little bit more definition under here. Okay. So now I'm gonna take my beauty sponge again and just lightly pounce over that, just to make sure everything's blended in. And now we can move on to powder. So what I'm gonna do is kind of set that concealer underneath my eyes. So what I like to do first is just make sure that I have no creases under my eyes from the concealer. And then I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury for down Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. And I'm gonna take my same 165 brush from MAC, tap off the excess, and I'm just going to press underneath my eyes. And the reason I'm doing this is because I just want to set the concealer before I put my baking powder on. I feel like it just works better baking if you have something underneath it first instead of just sticking directly onto the foundation. Okay. So after I set that, I'm going to go in with, today I'm going to use the Hourglass Translucent Veil. And I'm going to put this on with that same little sponge that we've been using. And I'm going to just go underneath my eye and then onto the side of my nose. Just like that. Of my nose, so I want it to really brighten on the top of my, and the tip of my nose. So now what I'm going to do is take that same Charlotte Tilbury powder, and I'm going to use a powder brush, which is the Jaclyn Hill JH02 big brush, and I'm going to swirl it into the powder and just kind of lightly go over the rest of my face. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is like a little contour, and I'm going to use the Hoola from Benefit, and I'm just going to kind of sculpt out right where, kind of go right over that cream contour and just make it a little more defined. It's so weird how lighting, because it looks so light right here, but in person, it looks like I'm putting a lot on. So it's like you really have to pack, I really have to pack it on to like make it show up on camera. So I'm really not wearing as much as it looks like I'm putting on. I mean, it looks like I'm putting on a lot, but it's not showing up on camera. So I'm actually putting on more than I would. Because right now it's like this would be perfect for daytime. But yeah, you don't see it on camera as much as you do in person. So the next thing I'm going to do is take a bronzer by Becca. Has a little bit more of a shimmer to it. And I'm going to go ahead and go around my forehead, around my cheeks. Down my neck. Now before I dust away this, I'm going to go back, because like I said, I normally would do my under eyes first, but now it's kind of like gone because of my concealer. So I'm going to go back with that fluffy brush and pick up that first color, and it's the Soothe in the Sequin, and I'm just going to kind of buff it down a little bit, and it just goes so much easier over the powder. That's why I like to do it when I have, that's why I like to do the lower lash line with powder right there, because it softly like just kind of buffs out. I don't have to go over the dark part because I already had, you know, it's pretty set. I'm just going to go over that lighter kind of, because I want it to go down a little bit more. So now I'm going to take that same 165 brush and just buff this away. And for under the eyes, I've been using the MAC Emphasize powder. This one right here. And I just do that right under my eyes. Just right here. Really brightens that area. I'm going to go with this Dose of Colors shader brush, and I'm going to dip back into Hoola. Knock off the excess and go down the nose. This is where we already put the cream contour, but we're just going back with the powder. It defines it more and also sets the cream contour. Just kind of keep going over stuff if you see where you see needed. And then I'm going to just do some blush. For that, I'm going to use also my Charlotte Tilbury in Ecstasy with my favorite blush brush, and this is the Farrah brush. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do onto my face is I got this new little Ghost ambient lighting powder from Hourglass. It just has like 6 different little shimmery powders. 2 are blush, 1's a bronzer, and there's the little highlighting powders. So I'm going to take my little Luxie little brush, and I'm just going to dip into 2 of these powders right here. And this is like how I've always done. I just kind of go around my face just to kind of soften everything. Soften your blush, soften any lines. And then last but not least, I'm going to take my Jeffree Star and Morphe spray. Spray that on there. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do lips with this because you don't really need to know how to do lips, right? So, so I think I'm just gonna do a nice little soft lip. And I'm gonna do the Kylie, it's a Koko K. It's actually just like a liquid lipstick. This will just tie in with the pink up there on my lids. For gloss, I'm going to use the Kylie 1 in a Billion lip gloss. And I'll just do that right in the center, just for shine. So what I did forget is my highlighter. How did I forget my highlighter before I sprayed my Jeffree Star? But that's okay. My highlighter is I'm going to use the Hyper Real Glow from MAC in the color Flash and Awe. Right here, I'm going to take my Jaclyn Hill brush, JH09, dip it in here, and just kind of place it on the high points of my cheeks. Go down my nose. And that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix my hair and I will come back with the completed finished look.